Four Knights of the Apocalypse chapter 104 is out, and while not too much happened in this chapter, we actually started getting some answers for Percival and how the demons know him, and it's honestly kind of sweet and wholesome at the same time, and we get ZELDRIS again at the end of this chapter as well. I'm just excited to see what happens in this arc, and how we'll get like an actual conflict. Probably the Chaos Knights will follow them into the demon realm or something like that, but we'll just have to wait and see as this arc continues, as we're still in the basic setup stages for the arc. But before we get into the actual video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help, and it shows you guys like the Four Knights content on this channel. I'm going to keep making Four Knights content for as long as I possibly can, week after week with these chapters. I'm excited. This arc is going to be hype. And if you guys want me to make like a video on any other series, or you have anything that you'd like me to talk about for Four Knights of the Apocalypse or Seven Deadly Sins, let me know in the comments below, and I'll get around to it, because I do want to make some other videos besides the chapter reviews. Without further ado, let's hit that intro and get right into the chapter. Four Knights of the Apocalypse chapter 104, titled Intrusion into Demonity. As we start off with the group in basically a giant hole in a, what I presume, cubed mountain that we saw in the previous chapters, as they have officially entered the demon realm. As they're looking out of these giant holes in this crater, as it's basically like a beehive, and as Percival is looking out, seeing the holes in the mountain and out in the distance, he then gets a flash, a memory, stating a lot of holes. A mini him, a baby Percival, a toddler Percival talking is just the most adorable thing I've ever seen. As someone says, yes, you came from one of those holes. Surprised to see so many, huh? This relic was built over 3,000 years ago, so this giant cube is a relic and apparently connects to different places in Britannia. As they say, we'll have to search for the one you went through. Until then, you can just stay here with me. As Mini Percival calls him Thal, as he just says, that's right, me and your pal Geta too. So this is obviously ZELDRIS, and I'll get into this later, but this is just incredibly wholesome. But this also kind of pokes a hole and kind of discounts the whole Percival actually being the child of ZELDRIS and Gelda, like at least biologically. I wouldn't be surprised if he was like in the demon realm for like a literal year until they found the hole back to God's finger and gave him back to his grandfather. But then Percival spouts out the name Thal, as Ann wonders what's going on and why Percival is spacing out. She says, I know how you feel. This is an overwhelming sight, as Percival states what he remembers. That all these holes link to different parts of Britannia, and it was made a really long time ago. As the group was wondering, why does he know this? Why do you know this, Percival? And Percival was wondering about that himself. But then he suddenly notices something as a giant gust of wind comes from the hole and blows everybody out of the entrance they came from, as they all fall thousands of feet out of the air. Isolde then basically nonchalantly and calmly states, okay, I kind of forgot this. That's exhaust from blowing out any blockage. Xion chewing her out saying, oh, so we're blockage now. And she says, well, I mean, it's to take out hidden intruders or even corpses, so yeah. She then slowly transforms into her demon form and offers her hand to Xion, as Xion says, who to take the hand of a demon? So, in any other series, or even the beginning of Seven Deadly Sins, you'd think, okay, this is reasonable. But at the same time, screw you, Xion. You'd fit right at home with the Chaos Knights with that attitude. I don't know if Xion like legitimately knows that Meliodas and Tristan are demons, well, Tristan half demon, with how his powers are, or if Tristan is just an exception because he's family or something. I don't know. But Xion is just unsufferable. But yeah, he takes her hand as she's like, would you prefer to die then? So yeah, he then calls out to Tristan, as we then see him holding Isolde like a princess, with, I think, Xion kind of being jealous, or thinking that Isolde should have saved Tristan instead. Sylvain and Escanor are slowly falling down, but then Gawain casts a spell, Enchant Little Wings, giving little baby wings to Sylvain and big, majestic wings to Escanor. It feels weird saying Escanor, even though now that it's a horse and not the actual character Escanor. It'd be hilarious if we find out this horse is actually Escanor's reincarnation. That'd be hilarious. I mean, I wouldn't really like it all that much, but Anyway, Percival managed to save on Nazia and Donnie with his whole power to help them fly, and as Sylvain, who got used to his magical wings, comes up to them, they all grab onto Sylvain to try and ride him, as a giant demonic creature appears out of the sky, and basically appears over him. As Sylvain is bragging, "Behold, I am the mighty Pegasus." I'm not going to get over the fact that no one can understand Sylvain, but we can understand Sylvain. I feel like that's a weird choice now that Lancelot is not disguised as a fox anymore. Anyway, this thing is already caught up, as I think it's the demon stating, "Our savior." And they go on to say how big this demon is, and that they have to shake it off, because, you know, Sylvain has to run away or else to get caught. But I like how Donnie just keeps saying that Sylvain is just like flying pig at this point. The demon sniffs them and says, "The scent of magic," as he seems to recognize Percival. As Lancelot in his fairy form looks on and sees that thing basically grab everyone and leave. But he's then called out by Tristan and everyone, as they are surrounded by a multitude of demons. And I just gotta love a lot of these demon designs. One's literally just a giant sentient sword. And we officially get, basically from what I can tell, the 6 Knights of Black. I am very sorry. I was basically chewed out for calling them the 5 Knights of Black. I don't know why I called them the 5 Knights of Black. They are the 6 Knights of Black, and we get to see a lot of them in this panel. I think it's all of them with different and altered designs. Probably to differentiate from the movie, because, you know, they're alive here and not dead like in the movie. The leader of the Knights of Black, Belian, I think his name is, asks, "Who are you? What are you after? Depending on your answer, we may slash you down right here." As we then cut to what I presume is the Demon King's palace, because of how this chapter ends, with the Percival platoon waking up in this area, with Percival running towards them with Belian in the background, as they're wondering if Percival's hurt, and they're like, "That guy with you, from the Demon Clan?" As Percival says, "Yeah, he guided me here." So it's very possible that everyone's dealing with, the army of demons and trying to explain the situation. It's possible Eob managed to talk them out of the whole confrontation. But then all of a sudden they feel a giant wave of just pure power, as they're like, what was that tremor? As someone walks in from behind them, as this person states, "I doubted my ears at first, but to think we would ever be reunited like this." As the whole group shudders in fear of this tremendous pressure, this magical force. As An tells Percival not to look around, and Donnie says, "Are you stupid? She said not to." As Belian introduces, "This is our leader, His Highness, the Demon King. I'd advise you to mind your manners, guests." As we see this giant freaking shadow monster appear right in front of him, I can tell I think this is just a visual choice and representation that ZELDRIS uses for his powers to intimidate people, just to be, safe, especially with intruders. But yeah, everybody is incredibly terrified of this monster that they have seen. But Percival recognizes that voice, to everyone's surprise, as the darkness subsides and returns to ZELDRIS, revealing him in his assault mode, as we get another flashback of Percival waving goodbye to ZELDRIS, as ZELDRIS says, "We'll meet again someday, Percival." Percival says Thel, but ZELDRIS says, yeah, the full name is ZELDRIS. You called me that back when you still had that lisp, didn't you?" As Percival is just very excited to see, and everyone else is in shock, that Percival basically knows the Demon King, with Belian, well, just being a bodyguard and not saying or doing anything, just watching. And that's how the chapter ends. Nothing incredibly eventful, they just fall into the demon world. Percival and co. basically get taken to ZELDRIS. Meanwhile, the rest of the 4 knights and Chion and Isolde are surrounded by demons. But since Belian is there, it's very possible they're like in a guest hall. It would just be hilarious if literally they recognized Tristan based off his looks and thought, okay, maybe the Demon King should probably know that his nephew is here. I want to see the Tristan interaction. But let me just state real quick. I like that ZELDRIS basically took care of Percival for an unbeknownst amount of time. Maybe a year, or maybe it was a few days or a few months. And I just find that kind of adorable. And that Percival had a lisp as a kid, that is just freaking cute. And the fact that he called ZELDRIS Thel, and, Geta, that's obviously Gelda. I want to see those two interact. It'd be honestly really cute and wholesome for the fact that maybe Zeldris and Gelda basically acted like pseudo surrogate parents to Percival while he was in the demon realm, and soon after they had a kid. After that, that'd be kind of cute and adorable. I would love if that was the case. But I originally thought that it was just, you know, Io and her friends taking care of a, you know, lost human child in the demon realm until they manage to find a way to bring him back. But no, it was a lot of demons, and Zeldris and Gelda in particular taking care of Percival, and they were trying to find a way to send him back home, find the hole where he came from. And it makes sense because those holes go to different places in Britannia, and I doubt Zeldris knows where every single one of them goes. Or at least the one where Percival fell out of. Still, that is very, very cool. I like that. And that giant demon dragon thing that took Percival and the rest, I think it said our savior. It could be a translation, a mistranslation, but it says our savior. So it's very possible that there is a prophecy of the Four Knights here in the demon realm as well. Maybe Meliodas told them, or maybe they figured something out when Percival arrived previously. As Zeldris said, we'll meet again. And like, I didn't think we'd meet again like this. But I don't know, I just like this. I like this. I want more of the interactions between Zeldris and Gelda. It makes sense to how Percival learned the demon language, because he was raised by the Demon King. But yeah, I'd really like an extended flashback to see Percival's time in the demon realm, and Zeldris and Gelda just acting like parents to this lost child for the most part. I like that. I really would like that. And it'd be really nice if Percival actually starts to view Zeldris and Gelda as his actual parents, because he doesn't know his mom, and his father is, well, he murdered his grandfather, so I wouldn't mind that at all. But yeah, that was the chapter. Nothing super eventful. The group gets separated after falling thousands of feet in the air. Percival's taken to Zeldris with his friends. I'm curious to see what happens next. And yeah, I'm curious. I don't know how we're going to get conflict. Maybe we'll get a little training arc here. There's a lot to happen, a lot to look forward to, and I just cannot wait for what's going to happen next. But what did you guys think of this chapter? I know this is relatively quick and short, but nothing too much to discuss here since it was just everyone getting together and meeting with Zeldris. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought of the chapter. What do you think of Percival being raised by Zeldris and Gelda when he was a baby? How do you think the arc's going to progress, since it seems like we basically just skipped the fighting for these new parties to interact with each other, which I'm alright with. And let me know your thoughts and opinions in general down in the comments section down below, and your theories for what could potentially happen. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It helps a ton, and I cannot wait to talk more Four Knights in the future with the next chapter. But with all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have an awesome day.